out there, GrogHeads? We've got a special treat for you today. We've got an unboxing video to do for this Techno Bowl arcade football unplugged board game. This caught my attention, again, as a lot of things do, in the grogheads.com forums. So I had never heard of it before, and apparently it's been out about a year, and I thought that this would be a really cool thing to showcase, so I had to get a copy of it. This game is basically, I think, a 7-on-7 or 8-on-8 game where you each draw cards, you set up your men on the field, and you go through the paces. And the game is driven by your choices, by die rolls to an extent, and by card play as well, to add bonuses and such to play. And that's the extent of what I want to talk about as far as how the game works, because I've not read the rules yet. I've watched videos. I wouldn't bear to try to talk about what I know about the game at this point, this is not supposed to be a review, just an unboxing. So I want to show you the stuff. I've seen unboxing videos of this, and I'm kind of excited to see this actually, because this was really, really cool from what I've seen. And there's even more cool things you can do with it, which I'll probably get into in the review itself. So let's see what we've got here. If I can figure out how to open the box. There we go. Wasn't sure if this was a slide open or not. So here we go. We've got, oh, this is neat. We've got some really cool components here. And it just blows me away, the quality in it. What I'm seeing here is exactly what I saw in the video, and this is going to be mind-blowing here for me. Excuse me while I geek out. So we got a team guide, and the cool thing about this, and I even asked the gentleman about these logos. He did these himself. Some of them were in the public domain, I believe he said, and he redid them as he needed, and kind of named, as you can see, named them things that are kind of similar to the NFL, but not quite. So the Falchions, is that how you pronounce it? The Falcons, obviously. The Redskins, the Chiefs, and the Chefs. That's funny. The Bulls, which I'm not sure who the Bulls would be. I know that they have players that are kind of similar to the real world too, which is really neat. The Grill is the Greenbacks. Gee, go figure who's that. The Griffins, I'm not sure. The Jack-o'-lanterns, I'm not sure. Maybe the Bengals. The Kittens, that's the Lions. The Lumberjacks. The Monsters, who I believe is Chicago. The Ninjas, I don't know who they are offhand. The Omegas, the Pandas, the Pills, who is Buffalo, I'm pretty sure. The Pit Bulls, who is Pittsburgh. The Ragnarok, who is the Vikings. The Rattlers, I believe that's the Texans. The Reapers are the Raiders. The Regals are the Eagles, of course. But I mean, just look at the quality of the work. I mean, somebody went to the trouble to do all this. This is neat. I mean, it doesn't add anything to the game except for obviously giving kind of a breakdown of the players and a little bit of talk of the team's strengths, I'm assuming. Oh, that's one thing that I know, that the Rattlers have a player named J.J. Jewell. Instead of J.J. Watt. But he's kind of a badass on defense, so that's kind of neat. Obviously, there's oh yeah, here's another one. The Miami Sushi. These are the Dolphins, obviously. Larry Bonkers instead of Larry Zonka. Mark Super instead of Mark Duper. It's just the puns are awesome, and the names are kind of funny, and it's such a nice touch to the game. The Trucks, the Tyrants, the Warriors, the Yellow Jackets. I mean, it was obviously a product of great passion. And we've got a yeah, I remember seeing this, but now I just remembered. Press start. I like that. That's kind of a nice touch. So as you can tell, this is kind of done with the old school Techno Bowl as inspiration. If you ever played that game, it was highly annoying, but great fun. I could not stay away from it, unfortunately. I say it's annoying because there were certain players who were studs, like Bo Jackson, for instance. Anytime you touched the ball, he was gone. I had a friend who played the Raiders all the time, and that's all he played over and over and over again. And even though I knew it was coming, it was impossible to stop him. But anyway, I love Techno Bowl, but as you can see, this is not Techno Bowl, it's No Bowl. I'm just curious what kind of copyrights he might have had to face, and if there was any issues with that. Obviously not, because we got a full-fledged game here, but I just wondered if that was ever a worry or a concern. And oh, cool, man. I mean, look at this manual. It is full color. It's well structured. There's videos, as I said, on YouTube that he goes through all the steps of how to play to, and gives you the basics. There's a few full playthroughs of games, of actual games, where they don't explain the basics. They just kind of show the game playing, and it's really neat. Now, this game, it's my understanding you can play it solo. It's very strong solo, which is interesting. I say that because card play, you got card play to drive your game. I think, of course, you can just switch sides and, decide who's going to do what, but I don't know quite how that plays exactly, if you've got to do random card draws for the other side or what you do exactly, but I'll figure it out. It's just my understanding that it's very possible to play it solo, but it's much, much, much better to play with other people, and that's something I fully intend to do as I put this through its paces. I'm just really impressed with the quality. I love the font, though. I mean, playing solo, field goal, that's just really cool, old school 8-bit stuff there. So again, we've got a great component so far. This is obviously scoreboard. There's little wooden blocks that mark off the halves, or mark off the time rather. There's counters to mark off the scores and the timeouts that you can take. That's really cool. Here are the players, and this is one thing I was going to talk about maybe in the review, but I can say this as well. He also sent me some PDFs of these players. I'll get a little closer up here. And those PDFs have actually these little pictures printed on them. I think 4 per okay, so let me start over. What the intent is you print out those PDFs, you take a wooden block, a 3/4 inch wooden block, and you put these images of the player on 4 sides along the edge, and then on the top you put their number. So in this case, this guy right here would be 49. And the number 49 goes in that gamer font that you saw on the top, and in the main color, which would be this dark blue. So that's really cool. I've just seen those videos. It's like the way I want to do it. So what I would have to do is print out those PDFs onto some kind of adhesive, put them on myself to create a really awesome component. But that said, these are neat too. These actually, it's my understanding, go in stands, which I think I'll get it to here in a second. But we've got more players, and we've got obviously counters for the scores there. I love this red here, the Chiefs, the Redskins. I mean, it's obvious, in the Packers, but obviously, excuse me, that's not them. They're the Monsters, yeah, and the Greenbacks, yeah, and whoever else. We've got targeting counters for throwing the ball. You got first, second, third, and fourth downs here. I'm not sure what those are. They look like explosions. That's kind of interesting. I guess we'll get into that. I haven't seen that in the videos yet. Maybe that's something that's new. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just really excited to try this out, man. Okay, so fire tokens. I guess that explains maybe what that is. So I'll get to that later in the review. I don't want to go into too much detail, but I mean, just it's high, such good quality. Does this open? No, it doesn't. It's just thick. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, man, the quality of this stuff is really awesome. So it looks like we've got a couple of game handouts, 3 handouts, 4 handouts. It looks like, oh. Fundamentals, we got 3 of those as well. So this gives you the basics of the game. It looks like how to block, grabbing loose ball, defensive pressure, handoff, tackling, passing. We got something on the back here. Yep, skill checks, what a total success is, what a partial success is, what a failure is, booth review, teamwork, bench boosts, which are cards off your bench. Oh man, this is neat. And there's one thing else that I think is really friggin' neat. It's this card holder. I mean, look at this. This is an old school Nintendo controller, even down to the B and A buttons. And this is what you set on the table, and you put your cards in to face you and away from your opponent, of course. So you kind of set up your benches to cards that you can draw during the current drive and such. This is just really cool. And there's 2 of them too, one for each side, obviously. And then here we've got the wooden blocks, which you're familiar with. And if you've played Eagle games or GMT games, coin series games, you know what wooden blocks are. And here we go. So that's what I was going to tell you about these stands. That's what the game comes with as is. So you get these stands, and you put these guys into the stand so they are standing up like that. That's probably pretty cool in and of itself. And that's probably the way I'm going to review the game as is. But for myself, I'm geeking out because I know that I'm going to later invest in some wooden blocks and print those things out. So thanks, Dev. That's pretty neat stuff there that you sent me. And then we got dice, of course. And here's the fun part. We've got the the cards. Lover. I was kind of looking at that going, who the hell is that in real life? I don't know. Greenbacks, obviously. We've got players whose names are probably very close to real world. Maybe you're more knowledgeable about NFL than I am and know what these names might be close to. I won't take these cards out right now. I'll show you more of them in the full review, but Rattlers, we've got Hammer. Wonder if that's supposed to be like Merciless. I don't know. But the numbers, another thing I do know about the game, the numbers don't really represent the actual player numbers in real life. So if you saw JJ Jewell, it wouldn't be 99, I don't think. The numbers actually on the jerseys correspond with their skill levels. And so just to tell you a real basic thing that I do know is if this guy here was trying to block this guy here, the difference is what you look at is the first number on the jersey, or if they only have one number, you look at that number. And right here, you got a 4 and a 6, basically. So the difference is 2, so this guy would get a +2 to block. I think there's other things that go on too. There might be other players nearby or some other circumstances involved, but that's the basics of that. And it's just really simple and easy to remember. The Banditos. I hadn't seen this yet. This must be the Browns. I wonder if I need to do another video entirely just to go over all the teams of the Griffins. Okay, that's the Cardinals, obviously. I don't know who those dinosaurs are. And the Tridents, that's the Titans. There we go. Wow. And then we've got a really cool game board, it looks like. This is like a game mat, and I want to say it's like the... Oh, yeah, it is. It's like the Marvel Dice Masters game mat. You know, I don't know if you're familiar with that, but oh my gosh, this is such good quality. This is a nice mat. And oh man, this is this is amazing. I love this. Get it here in the full frame, maybe. I mean, wow. This is cool. The one that they have in their videos online, the field has got little brown patches and it's like scuff marks, so it's obviously been played on. This looks like a brand new field, but that's not a complaint at all. I'm just saying I love the pure clean look of this mat. This is neat. And that's it, guys. We've got a box with some dividers in here to store, and hopefully I can remember how to put everything back in. So this is, again, Techno Football by Brent Spivey. His company is Bombshell Games. Go check it out online and check out the videos too on YouTube. He's got plenty of them. Just look for Bombshell Games Techno Bowl. You don't have to put the question mark or the exclamation point in there. It should show up. And you can check out the gameplay there and he'll tell you. But you can check that in the meantime is what I mean until I do a full review. Then you can come on board and check that out once we announce it. So, well, thanks for being here and watching this unboxing video. Once you come by the GrogHeads forums, sign up and leave your gaming comments there and discuss these games and in our reviews. I am assured there is a front page that all these reviews go on. I know there are because I do so many of them for the site. So come on by when we're reviewing everything under the sun pretty much game-wise, and we'll catch you in the next video.